The programme. We start tonight on the roof of one of the developments overlooking Britain's biggest regeneration project, Old Oak Common. Just to put it into perspective, it's a £15 billion project and it will take 10 years to build, and it straddles 3 London boroughs. Why are we here? Well, over the next few weeks I'll be out and about looking at how some of the big and complex issues facing the person who'll take over in City Hall in a month's time. Now, in a city of 8.6 million people whose population is growing, the issue of affordable places to live, being able to travel in and around our city, can't be underestimated. Now, the interesting thing about Old Oak Common is that it's being seen as part of the solution to the transport challenge. It's where HS2, Crossrail, the Tube and the Overground will all come together in one area, a super hub, if you like. Our transport correspondent Tom Edwards reports on how the people who are in charge of planning for the future of this city face a tough task.
Sites like Old Oak Common are part of the future of London, a new transport hub and thousands of homes.
So we could be looking at sort of 42-storey buildings coming up in front of us.
But those who already live here say they'll be hemmed in by construction for years with no compensation.
It's extremely frustrating. I mean, to be honest, I rue the day that I ever bought this house, and if I could, I would leave tomorrow as well.
Really? It's got that bad?
It's that bad.
Investment in transport, though, does now have political consensus. For a London mayor, the transport budget is the biggest, £11 billion a year. The real challenge is population growth and how the transport system will deal with that. London is growing faster than any European city. By 2030, 10 million people will be living in the capital. Coping with that will mean more investment, more upgrades and more new projects, and doing more with less.
I think it's quite clear that whoever gets in May, there's the direction of travel is about more public transport and about managing traffic in various ways, but connecting development sites with better public transport.
Crossrail will open during the next mayoralty, but it'll soon fill up. The question is, who'll pay for new infrastructure?
What the government needs to do is give the mayor the freedoms and the power to be able to raise that money. We had the London Finance Commission that came up with a very innovative scheme which the Chamber supported about raising money from the property taxes, from the council tax and business rate. Well, we need something along those lines.
Politics and London transport have always been entwined. As well as arguments over fare cuts, in London there's been innovation, schemes like the congestion charging zone or cycle lanes. But what's next?
What's actually sadly lacking, I think, in the two frontrunners' manifestos is a big picture, a big ambition of how they want London to be in the next 30, 40 years.
Back in Old Oak Common, the intention is to integrate the communities.
What we don't want to see here is another Canary Wharf, which, a place cut off by roads, cut off by security guards, which doesn't feel part of the local community, doesn't offer housing for local people, and possibly doesn't offer the jobs.
Keeping London moving will cost billions. With budgets decreasing and passenger numbers increasing, that challenge becomes more acute. Tom Edwards, BBC London News.
Well, let's talk to the woman in charge of making Old Oak Common a reality, Victoria Hills, the Chief Executive, to give you your full title, Old Oak and Park Royal Development Corporation. We heard in Tom's report some of the challenges there. You have a background in transport. Why do you think that developments like this are the answer?
Well, developments like this, transport really unlocks the potential. In 10 years' time, we're going to have a new station, broadly the size of Waterloo, opening in an area where trains don't currently stop, and that provides the most enormous potential to deliver thousands of new homes and jobs and one of London's largest brownfield sites.
And you mentioned housing there. I mean, the key is also to build a place place that people want to live, isn't it? A community. Isn't there a danger that it becomes a wealthy enclave, if you like, that's outside of London, but also, more importantly, out of the reach of many Londoners?
Sure. We've been working with the local community now for over a year through our local plan, working to find out what sort of place they would like Old Oak and Park Royal to be in the future. London delivers brilliant regeneration projects. We've got lessons from the Olympics and other many regeneration projects going on, and we really want to work with the local community to build the homes that they want to live in, create the place that they would like, and ensure the jobs are here for them to benefit from this significant investment government is putting into a new super hub station at Old Oak.
We heard someone in Tom's report compare it to Canary Wharf, and I know that it has been dubbed the Canary Wharf of the West. But the interesting thing about Canary Wharf is that it is sort of disconnected from the surrounding area. So for those people that, you know, live in places like Harlesden and Willesden, whose sort of, you know, community fabric will be disrupted, if you like, you know, what does it offer to them? How do you reassure them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a fabulous opportunity here for us to knit in the existing communities into a fabulous new community, and we're really keen on providing a new high street all the way from Harlesden south to the new High Speed 2 station, and opening that station up south to the community so that everybody can benefit, local residents and the business. There's a golden opportunity here to get it right. The station doesn't open for 10 years. We've got 10 years to plan, 10 years to get that right, so that we get a fantastic place that people want to live in, existing and future residents.
I'm glad you mentioned the word plan, because everything about this is big. The size, the cost, but in effect it's going to be like a sort of small town dropped in the middle of West London. How do public services cope? Because people will be concerned about that.
This actually provides a fantastic opportunity for public services to grow as the population grows. So there will be new schools, there'll be new health facilities, there'll be new fantastic cultural opportunities. We've heard of the Science Museum, they're keen to come here. So there are some really fantastic opportunities to improve those facilities. Clearly the development plays a role in that, and we want to plan to make sure that happens.
Okay, Victoria Hills, many thanks indeed. Clearly a very optimistic view there from the Chief Executive. Well, we've been clearly talking about the long term, if you like, but what about the here and now? What about people who battle that daily commute? What would make a difference to them? Well, let's join Alice down the road and has been finding out the answer to that. Alice.
That's right, Riz. Possibly not as busy as it usually would be here at this time of night because we are still in Easter holidays, but this area is one of London's major transport hubs. It's where the Central Line meets London Overground across the road with a bus terminal in between. And in the distance you can just about see Westfield Shopping Centre. Many people coming and going from here every day. Like Old Oak Common, Westfield was a major development that required investment in its public transport in the area to cater for the many more people coming here. And as Londoners, we all know what it's like to commute. Now, almost 800,000 of us spend over 2 hours a day getting to and from work. Transport for London says services are improving, but what does it really feel like for commuters?
It's great here because we've got the Overground, we've got the buses, we've got the Underground. We've also got the Hammersmith and City line down there, so around here I think it's pretty good actually.
Yeah, good. In comparison to the other cities I go to, good. Better than Paris, better than Geneva, yeah, good.
I think it's kind of gotten worse. I think there's more people on the road and more cyclists, so it has gotten worse.
Probably just the delays and how packed the stations are.
The cost of the tube, by far. It's a drain on my money.
Traffic, and I guess waiting for the services, I guess sometimes as well.
Put more trains on. Yeah, that'll be it. Just put more trains on. Make them less busy.